Coronado Bridge up there. Neither pedestrians or bicycles are allowed. Okay, sure. Thinking it'd be cool to ride over it. You're right, we can't. If I had to guess, I would say this was my 10th or so time doing this ride. Especially if you count the times when I head down to the Tijuana estuary. This is not a busy road. I'll ride next to those big rows of parked cars if I have to, but you know, now you're dependent on somebody actually looking behind them before they open the car door. This road is not good. Yes, I don't know why, but grooves in the riding surface, be it paved or dirt, that are going in the same direction as the bike. The wheel seems to want to settle into that groove, and the bike does not handle quite the same. Might be more so with these new tires. The old tires had those little like knobs on them for off-road biking, but these are more just street tires. Which are supposed to last longer, and I think you get a little bit better mileage. They roll over the street with a little less friction. some kind of elementary school. From where I'm sitting, this is mostly glare, but things often come out different. And you think they're gonna? Also might have tilted the camera too far over. But we'll pass through it again. I've done this ride 10 times. That means you've seen murals there 20 times. So there's a surprising amount of art along this ride, though. A few things in the park back there and these murals. Surprisingly, there's little like art installations that are not even against the paved path when we get up onto the Silver Strand, but off of a little dirt path that parallels it. So, interesting surprise. So I left around 10 a.m., got down here more or less around 11. Maybe a smidge early. The ride's supposed to take 3 hours. I don't think it's really going to take that long. But, you know, 2.5. Well, we are south of San Diego and we're heading all the way back up north to Oceanside, so a lot of potential for traffic. I figure heading back at 1:30 or 2 is better than heading back at 3 or 4. So there's the salt being processed. They create salt beds out here and evaporate it and then process it. I'm guessing other than adding the motorized conveyor belt around the Industrial Revolution, that this technology really has not changed much at all in the last 2,000–3,000 years. I believe I read somewhere this is one of the oldest businesses in San Diego. Fun facts I probably tell you every single time, but I bothered to look it up. So now you have to hear about it. is looking pretty salty. Nice look at San Diego and Coronado Bridge. There's a ferry It'll take you into downtown. Costs, I don't know, $8 or so, but you can bring your bike on it. They don't run super often, but I think they more or less shuttle back and forth. And there's one that goes down to the convention center and one that goes up to Broadway. Takes about 2 hours to come down by train, and to be honest, it would cost more than I'm spending on gas even with these higher prices. An hour on the coaster to get down from Oceanside, and then about another hour on the trolley. So this ride and Mission Bay are voted the two best rides in San Diego. Coronado's pretty. Getting to ride along the bay here is nice. At some point we'll be able to cross over and look at the beach, which is nice, but this long stretch where we're next to this noisy highway, knocks it down a couple of letter grades for me. When there's not much traffic on the highway to drown it out. The roaring of the wind in my ears is quite loud. I think it's just a function of angle. Yeah, I bought a little foam thing that wraps around the GoPro that was supposed to cut back on the wind noise, and it did some, but not enough. But then I figured out I could tear a little extra piece of foam off and slip it under the case and directly over the microphone hole. And that seems to have worked very well. My voice comes right through. Thank God, I know. But you're really not picking up much in the way of wind. Occasion to look at the really old videos. I figure that's for later when I'm ahead in the jar. But the first several hundred were not in 4K. And I assume I've gotten smoother. Probably both smoother and lazier at the editing.